Okay, so to continue, your classmates already have sent their answers in the chat box. So the squares of the following values are, remember, when you square a number, no matter what the sign is, it becomes positive because negative times negative is positive and positive times positive is still positive. So therefore, don't feel bad if you get a negative value in your differences on the second column because when we square them, they will surely become positive. Okay, take note of that. When you square a number, no matter what the sign is, it becomes positive. So we have here, okay, so we have here negative 4 squared is 16, 6 squared is 36, 1 squared is 1, 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 36. Very good. Okay, and now after that, all we have to do is to get the summation of the data minus the mean squared. Oh, kindly add all these values. Add all these values, 16 plus 36 plus 1 plus 9 plus 36. What's the answer? Type it in the chat box, please. You add them properly. 16, 36, 1, 9, and 36. The answer is 98. Okay. Got it? Now that you already got this value, we are already near to the end. Okay, but before siguro, before we move on to the next one, let's try naman solving for the table of our third quarter grades. Okay, so let's try this. So our data, set of data are 83, 84, 86, 87, and 88. Okay, next, and of course, our n is equal to 5. Kindly solve for the differences of your data and your mean. Go. I want you to type your answers directly to the chat box. And we need not to show the solution anymore. Automatically na, press in the calculator 83 minus 85.6 because that's your mean for the third quarter. Game. Let's see. We're doing it step by step so that it becomes clearer. And for this one, it's you who should try it. Ready? I'm still waiting for your answers. 83 minus 85.6. The answer is very good. Ayan. Your classmates are now starting to send their answers and they are sending the correct ones. Very good. So 83 minus 85.6 is negative 2.6. 84 minus 85.6 is negative 1.6. 86 minus 85.6 is 0.4. And then we have here 87 minus 85.6 is 1.4. Very good. And 88 minus 85.6 is 2.4. Very good. Show me a reaction if you were able to solve the same values for the second column. Let me see. Good. Nice. Now, the next step is to square these values. Everybody, get your calculators and press the squares of these values. Go. The square of x sub I minus the mean squared. Go. Send me the answers in the chat box. What is the square of these values which were taken from the difference between your mean and your given data. Okay. Thank you. What about the rest? Let's wait for the rest. Okay, nice. Be sure to round off your given or your answer to the nearest 2 decimal places. Okay. Okay. Good. So your classmates already are sending their answers and they are the same. So the first one is 6.76, correct? Next is 2.56 when you squared negative 1.6. Nice. And then 0.16. We also have 1.96 and 5.76. Very good. After that, all you have to do is to get the summation of all these values, the squares of the differences. Go. What's the sum of these values? What's the sum? Add 6.67. So 6.76. Sorry, it's not 2.52, it's 2.56. Sorry, I typed it wrongly. I wrote it wrongly. Sorry. This is 2.56. Ayun. Thank you for the correction. Okay, now add them all. 6.76 plus 2.56 plus 0.16 plus 1.96 and 5.76. Very good. So the answer is, let's wait for the rest. Some are still pressing the values in their calculators, correct? Nice. So we have here 17.2. 17.2. Ayan. And now, let's move on with the real thing. The formulas for the variance. All we have to do is to divide the summation total of the differences squared by n, which is 5. See? As simple as that. So let's do this here. For our second quarter set of data, we will have our variance or S squared. Some are using squared. Ganito siya. Sigma squared. So whichever method or whichever symbol you use, they are just the same. Okay? Let's use this for standard deviation. Variance squared actually is the standard deviation. Okay? So when you square your standard deviation, that is still variance. So we will have here the summation of this. Actually, this is what we are talking about here. Here, the summation that you got, that's 98, divided by your total, which the total number of data, which is 5. Press it in your calculator, please. So therefore, type your answer in the chat box. What is your variance? This is variance. The variance is 19.6.
Kanina pa.
Yeah, kanina pa natin nakuha yung variance. 19.6. Okay.
Bakit?
Hoy, Anestin, kanya mo mamangan na. Okay, 19.6. Kanina pa natin nakuha yung value. Tama, Anestin? Okay. Let's continue. So therefore, for us to get our standard deviation, which is S, or if by using symbol, it's that symbol. So our standard deviation here will be, kindly get the square root of 19. Because of course, our value is S squared is equal to 19.6. So when you get the square root of both, it will just become S is equal to, which will lead to our standard deviation. What's the answer? Type your answer in the chat box, please. Okay. Oops. You have to get the square root, huh? Don't square it. Get the square root. Don't square it. Some of our classmates squared 19.6. No, do not square it. Get the square root. Okay. So therefore, what's the answer? Round it off to the 2 decimal places. The answer here is 4.43. Very good. 4.43. This is the standard deviation. So this talks about the spreadness of the given set of data. Okay. Now, let's move on naman with our third quarter grades for the set of data and identify which has a widely spread set of grades. Okay. Oh, now you know the process here. Again, just to label, this is our variance. And this is our standard deviation. Okay. Now let's have this. For the third quarter, everybody solve for the variance. So we have here 17.2 over 5. Press it in your calculators, everyone. Press it in your calculators. 17.2 divided by 5. The answer is? Okay, very good. Let's wait for the rest. Some are still typing their answers correct. So that's 3.44. Now let's move on with the standard deviation. So we have here s squared is equal to 3.44. Get the square root of both. The answer will be, okay, very good. It's 1.85. Now look at this. 3.44 and 1.85. Which is widely spread? Is it the second quarter grades or the third quarter grades? Type your answer in the chat box, please. Looking at your given data, the second quarter grades is standard deviation is 4.43, while for the third quarter grades it's 3.44. I know it's 1.85. So which is widely spread? Okay, very good. So the second quarter grades are more widely spread. Very good. And the third quarter grades are more compressed. Okay. And so by looking at the results, since what do you call this? Since the third quarter grades have lesser standard deviation, we can say that the grades or the given set of data for the third quarter are denser, more compressed as compared to our second quarter grades because our second quarter grades are widely spread. Okay. And a while ago, going back to our mind exercise earlier, I asked you to identify which of the two do you prefer. Look at this. If you will look at your second quarter grades, the range, your mean, where's our mean? It's 84. Your mean is 84, and it's widely spread because it's 4.43. And look at it. The grades range from 78 to 90. Yes, you may get extreme grade or extremely high grade, which is 90, and you can also have an extremely low grade, which is line of 7. And this is one of the fears of one of your classmates who kept on commenting a while ago during our mental exercise. As compared to our third quarter grades, look at them. Our mean is 85.6 and it is more compressed. The set of data are more compressed. So looking at them, the values are just playing around 85.6. So the grades range from 83 to 88, which are a lot better than receiving 78. Yes, you got a line of 9 in the second quarter, but 78 is still one of those that are affecting the record as compared to the third quarter. Since the values are denser for the standard deviation, the given set of data are closer to your mean. So it's less um, um, it's less spread. So therefore, mas compress siya at doon mas naglalaro yung mga data natin. Okay? Do you see now the difference between the two? Show me a reaction if you see the difference between the two, the widely spread and the more condensed or more compressed. Okay. Thank you. So that's it. So this is how we use the standard deviation and the variance in dealing with a given set of data. That's it. So again, if you will look at the use of the variance and the standard deviation, they talk about the spreadness of your values. Habang lumalaki yung value, while the value for your standard deviation gets higher, it becomes widely spread, while if the value for the standard deviation gets lower, then it becomes more condensed or more compressed near near your mean. Got it? Show me a reaction if that concept is clear. Very good. Do you have other questions or concerns? Okay. Okay. So again, just to reiterate, low standard deviation means data are clustered around the mean. They are closer around the mean if the standard deviation is low. While if the standard deviation is high, it indicates that the data are more spread out, widely spread. Okay? Thank you so much. So now, you know how to interpret data and solve data using the use of the variance and standard deviation, which you can use when you conduct your performance task for the fourth quarter. So in here, you will be when you conduct surveys and upon gathering the data and solving for the standard deviation and the variance, after getting the mean and solving for the standard deviation, you will see if the responses of your respondents are more compressed or widely spread, especially if you will be dealing with the voters empowerment. I believe that's your performance task for this fourth quarter, right? Okay. So research joined the group. Yes. Kasi the reason why we are discussing this is because this is what we are using in the different researches to interpret data, to give value to our data. This is why we are using this. For example, when we do surveys, it's not enough for us to know the mean. It's not enough for us to know which has higher responses, but we also have to look into the spreadness of the given set of data. Are your respondents more compressed or having the same idea as the mean, parang ganon, or are they kalat? Yung parang ganon. Okay? So this is one of the uses of interpreting the different data that you gather in your research, okay, which you will be applying when you move on to your performance task, okay? Did your Filipino teacher and AP teacher and CLE teacher already discuss with you your performance task or not yet? Let me see. Did they discuss it already? Bukas pa lang po. Okay. So at least now I'm already giving you some ideas. So when they discuss with you your performance task, you can already think of your research or survey questions that you will integrate for your performance task, which wherein you will be applying what we've learned about the statistics in Math 10. Okay? Thank you so much. Do you have other questions or concerns? So just always remember when you start making your performance tasks, especially with your survey questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Send me a message or PM me in the ARA links about your questions or your survey questions so that I can suggest something and um, look into the composition of your questions para mas pasok siya sa ating lesson. Okay? Show me a reaction if everything is clear. That's it. Thank you so much. So that's it. We're done. That's it. All you have to do again, first step is to get your mean, solve for the mean, and that's very easy. Add all divided by the total number of data. And after that, second step is to make a table, get the difference between your mean and your given set of data. And then don't forget to square them. And the sum of the squares will be divided by your n or the total number of data. And from there, you will get your variance. Okay, that's the measure of variability. Kaya nga variability. Okay, and then by getting the square root, we will get the standard deviation. And from there, we can identify the spreadness of our given set of data. Okay, thank you so much. So if you don't have any other question, let's move on now with the ending part of our discussion. Okay, so now you have seen how easy our topic is for this 4th week. See, ang bilis lang natin nag-discuss. Okay, here is our featured meme for the week. Yeah, that's it. So you can edit this. You can reverse the process if you want. So kindly take a screenshot of our featured meme for the week and create a meme of your significant learning about the different statistical methods, especially the variance and the standard deviation used to interpret research data. Okay, do it now. Take a screenshot. Okay. And now let's open our meme, our Padlet for the memes. Wait lang.